Hello and welcome to the theElpyDimension. I am your guide, Elpy, and welcome to another episode of my seed table talks. We're not at the seed table, but hey, it's all the same. Today's episode 8, is tomatoes. Sort of skipped things around. I wanted to do tomatoes and peppers last, but I needed to get my tomatoes and peppers planted. My tomatoes are planted, or peppers rather, seeds are sown. I have not had any germination. I know I should have put them on a heat mat. I still can. Maybe I still will. Anyways, so I am going to talk to you about my, pay no attention to that, tomato choices. Now, if you're new to my seed table talks, then I will tell you that I'm calling this my second round of narrowing down my seeds, which means that I have a lot of seeds, and I went through all my seeds, all my tomato seeds, and picked out the tomatoes that I put aside the ones that I'm like, yep, I'm not going to grow that. Here's the ones I'm pretty sure I'd like to grow this year. And I might have to further narrow them down from what I'm about to show you, or I might go ahead and be insane and plant them all and then figure out later what it is I need to do. So let's start with, so here is the original packaging. The Artisan Bumblebee Blend cherry tomato. This is an indeterminate. This is actually one of the first tomatoes that I grew from seed in my garden when I returned to, when I returned to gardening in 2020, and when I really got serious about gardening, I grew three of these. There were one of each color, a red one, a purple one, and a yellow one. Pink, purple, and sunrise. And they were okay. I was kind of hoping that they would be sweeter. They grew well. I was stunned by, or I didn't know what to do about the chipmunks that were climbing up the plants and eating the fruits. It kind of freaked me out. And now, sadly, it just teased me off, but I know it's a thing that they do. Doesn't make it okay, but so the reason I say this is the original packet is I saved seeds. I grew this again I grew the sunrise, which is like a yellowish and orange one, again in 2023, and I'm going to grow from the seeds that I saved. So, yay. I was originally thinking that I would go ahead and sow the seeds while I talk to you, but now I think that it'll go faster if I don't do that. But this, well, I'm rethinking the whole thing, because if I set my seeds on here, then it'll get moist from the soil. So let's do this. Okay. So we've got the bumblebee cherry, bumblebee cherry tomato. And then I am going to grow, I've grown early girl tomato before. So I'm showing you saved seeds. I've grown early girl tomato. Someone gifted me with a bunch of plants from the nursery. And I really enjoyed the tomato. I don't know if I can say that it grew that much earlier than my other plants, other varieties, but I also had it in a shadier spot, and I thought it did a pretty good job. So I don't know that I saved seeds that year, but my mom got a plant last year, and last year, sorry, in 2023. In 2023, and that was the year that I got my mom started on saving seeds, and she saved seeds from the Early Girl tomato for me, and then last year I grew Early Girl from those seeds, and so I'm going to be planting from my seeds saved last year. And I've been growing the what I call my worm castings grape tomato. I think the first round I saved was in 2021. And I'm really bummed because I'm realizing I didn't save many seeds. It's probably better. People will probably tell me I shouldn't actually grow from these seeds because I had a lot of blight this year. I believe I've heard that blight can be passed through seeds. But the worm castings tomatoes that I grew in 2024. See, I'm saying this year because my mind is, it's March. It's technically March 23rd now. March 23rd, 2025. But the worm castings grape tomato plant that I grew in one of my shadier beds had really big trusses, and that, I think, is it tress or truss? I think it's trusses, and that is the cherry tomato. That's the bundle, if you will, of all the fruits. And so I wish I had saved seeds. I don't really understand what happened there, but there's a lot of things I say that about for 2024 season. But I saved seeds from 2023, so we'll go ahead and do that. And again, here's the original packet, Kellogg's Breakfast. And I tried to grow those in 2023. However, I don't even remember why, but it was unsuccessful. So I tried again last year, and bam, I was successful. And I get it now. I've heard about Kellogg's Breakfast Tomato for a while, and it is a really delicious yellow tomato. I really enjoyed the savory flavor of it. I want to say it was slightly more like umami. It just was a really good meaty tomato, but also juicy. See, we'll read this one. Not named for the cereal company, this West Virginia heirloom was made famous by a humble farmer who preserved the variety in Roseville, Michigan. Its bright orange fruit bursts with sweetness and can grow up to 2 pounds. A favorite amongst many seasoned gardeners. Delicious, sliced, juiced, canned, or cut fresh for salads. They are sweet. They're not sweet like cherry tomato sweet, but they do have a sweetness to them. And I just found the flavor to be really interesting. And interesting, too, that they say 8 to 12 weeks. But I'm definitely going to grow them again this year. I was really pleased with, and growing them from my own seeds. So Black Trifle, the original seed, was actually sent to me by Elder and Oak Farm. I swear, one of my peppers. I was looking at it earlier and I'm like, I need to remember to go look and see if that's actually a pepper germinating. I think it is. But I've surrounded myself with things, seeds, and I'm recording. Hey! Anyway, so I won a giveaway, and she sent me some seeds. Among them was the Black Trifle tomato, and I've grown it. I grew it in 24 and 23, and it is a what is it, darker red, sort of maroon brownish tomato. It has like a pear shape, and it has that more umami flavor. Last year the plants didn't do very well, but I really want this plant I really want to get a good harvest from the black trifle, Japanese black trifle tomato, because I do think it's pretty good. So these are seeds that I saved in 2023. Next up is, where did I put the original packet? Not nearly as organized as okay, there it is. Here's the original packet, the white cherry tomato. I grew those for the first time, I think, in 22. And I liked them. They're good. They're sweet. They're not super duper sweet, but they're sweet and they're a reliable, productive plant. I grew them again in 23. I can't remember if I chose to grow them or if I grew volunteers out of my castings, not knowing what they were, and one was a white cherry tomato. And I was pleased, actually, because they are pretty, I would say, hardy, reliable plant, and really productive plant. And with the dark orange muscat that I grew in 2024 was a massive disappointment, and I'll come back to that. And it made me kind of wish having my little white cherry tomatoes. So I'm going to grow them from seeds I saved in 2023. That'll be wonderful. Let's put you over here. And speaking of, let's see, dark orange muscat. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about M.I. Gardner, FYI, because you see, I have a lot of M.I. Gardner seeds. I'm an M.I. Gardner fan. But I grew dark orange muscat. I had 2 plants last year in 2024. I was really excited about them. The description reads, indeterminate. This orangey terracotta cutie is sweet and bright, packed with punch and juiciness. It is definitely one to try. If you are looking for something unique in flavor as it is in appearance, look no further. Now here's one thing that reading it now, I'm like, you know, that description. Let's read the white cherry tomato. The white cherry tomato says indeterminate. This unique variety will produce handfuls of almost perfectly round, creamy white cherry tomatoes in each cluster. With a fast ripening time and indeterminate growth habit, make for a tomato that produces early and produces. The flavor is quite incredible too, slightly sweet with sour notes intermixed with tropical flavors. That's a good way to put it. Now, doesn't that sound enticing? Right? Now let's go back to the dark orange muscat. This orangey terracotta cutie is sweet and bright, packed with punch and juiciness. It is definitely one to try. If you are looking for something unique in flavor as it is in appearance, look no further. It has me feeling underwhelmed, but I'm a sucker for strange things, and so I said, let's do it. Now, the reason I said I'm not saying anything bad about M.I. Gardner is because I got these as a freebie with an order that I placed from Head to My Toes, awesome name, on Etsy. And I'm going to grow, I'm pretty sure I didn't grow from both of these last year. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure the 2 plants I got were from my M.I. Gardner seeds. So I'm not saying anything against M.I. Gardner seeds. What I am saying, talking bad about, is the dark orange muscat tomato. That thing was so bad. The flavor was so bad that I want to try again. I want to see if that was just a fluke. I was so disappointed because the plants, like, they are a really pretty tomato and a really interesting looking tomato. And they produce really well. They had a lot of fruit on them, but they tasted bad. They were mealy, and they just didn't, like, they tasted like an overripe tomato that you bought from the store. And the first couple I ate, I'm like, okay, I must have picked these at the wrong time. No matter how many I ate at different stages throughout the year, I never got a good one. And honestly, the fruit went to waste more than not because that's how bad they were. I never even wanted to eat them. And so, because I'm stubborn and strange, I am going to grow one plant. I'm going to plant I'll plant 2 seeds just to be safe. But I'm absolutely not going to grow but one dark orange muscat. And I want to see if it's just as bad this year. Okay? Let me know if you are like me and you would do the same thing. Because I know I'm not alone. But yeah. And if you've grown the dark orange muscat tomato, please comment and tell me if you had the same experience, because I'm so curious. Okay. Also last year, I grew the Mountain Princess tomato. And this is a determinate. And I wanted to grow determinants last year because I have been canning with my great aunt, and I wanted to contribute more to the canning and just have more of a staple red tomato. And I like the idea of having just one crop all at once. And I believe I grew her in my grow bags along with Manitoba tomato, and none of those plants. They grew, but they got blight, and I had some tomatoes, but I never got a chance to get to them because they were either funky or, more often than not, the critters got them before me. So I'm not going to grow Manitoba just because I've set my sights on other things, but I figured I'd at least give the Mountain Princess another try. Well, yeah, so I decided, okay, which one? Am I going to do Manitoba again or Mountain Princess? I'm not doing both. This heirloom tomato has been grown for decades specifically for its cold hardiness and compact shape. Fruits ripen to a deep red and weigh 4 ounces. Well, that sounds pretty underwhelming as well. Other than that, it's grown for its cold hardiness, and yeah, I'm giving it another shot. Next up this is another plant that I grew, one of my first tomatoes back to gardening in 2020. And I think I only had one plant, one bush, and I was really underwhelmed. I was really bummed because I like Roma tomatoes. Like, at that time, I still bought tomatoes from the store, which I don't do anymore. Unless I really, really want to. But I like their firmness, and I like their shape. So I thought they made I like to just eat them. And I was really disappointed in the flavor. But I actually have, so Supremo, Bush Roma. I thought, let's try it again. I'm in a different space now, and again, these are good for canning and preserving, and we're gonna give the Supremo Roma another shot. And these are older seeds, packed for 2021. I could have swore I grew those. I don't know, I grew those in 2020. Yeah, I did. Okay, so I think, I've unintentionally separated these into those I've grown and those I haven't. The black cherry tomato I grew for the first time in 2024, last year. I think I only had one plant, but man, that thing, I did not prune my tomatoes until later in the season. And I did not prune my tomatoes until later in the season. And if I recall, we had a lot of rain early on. And I think I got blight pretty early. And I don't use chemicals. I'm sure there are things though other things I could have done to treat for the blight other than just pruning. But that said, and I didn't string anything up until later in the summer, at least July or August, probably definitely August. And my beds were just overrun. I mean, I had tons of growth, and I was so excited when I actually did get the plants tied up that I saw that there were tons of tomatoes under there too. So the black cherry tomato was a really good it's not like a 10 for me, but it was a pretty good cherry tomato, and I'd like to go ahead and give that a shot again. Okay, so and another one that I did grow in 2024 was the Aurora Blue tomato, and it was a really pretty tomato, and I did get to taste some, and they were good. They're not standing out to me, but I feel, again, this is another one that I feel like didn't really get a really good shot, so I want to give it another chance. Now let's talk about some new ones. Yes. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, but I will start with the White Queen tomato. This is, I guess it was introduced first by Seed Savers Exchange, and I'm really looking forward to trying the White Queen tomato. It's a slicer tomato and I guess an heirloom. So that's going to be wonderful. Shimo Fury is, I believe, a variegated. I looked these up and I should have wrote it down so I could tell you about it. A Japanese tomato. You know what? And I got that as a freebie with a seed order that I placed. And so I'm going to grow it this year. The Shimo Fury tomato is a determinate hanging basket, variegated regular leaf, early mid-season, original creation by Apple Star, a member of the Docs and Katie Xanadu and Helpful Gardener Gardening Forums. Ornamental and delicious. Sweet, this person says, from Heritage Seed Market, their tasting notes are sweet, meaty, balanced, no musk, half-ounce fruits, pink fat bullets, shows nice resistance to early blight versus plants around it. Well, hey, we're done. Done in terms of, yep. Okay. And Crimson Sprinter. Determinate, one of the original bright red varieties ever available on the market. Crimson Sprinter is the go-to all-purpose tomato, delicious when eaten fresh in salads and slicing, and cooks down evening for use in sauces and soups. It says evening. That's what, Eveling? Even? The ideal variety for short season growers. I thought that sounded great. And again, I'm trying determinants this year for the purpose of preservation. The Moskvich tomato, indeterminate, a perfect red slicer tomato bred in Moscow, Russia. These plants produce reliable yields of 8 to 12 ounce fruits with a consistent round shape and very little cracking. Fruits set early and continue late into the season, even as colder weather sets in, which is great. I don't have I think my season's about like 150 days, and our summers are pretty hot and our falls are really nice, but we do get cold. My first frost is typically in October, but I don't believe I had frost until like early November in 2024. Either way though, we still have cooler temps at times, and why not give that a shot? Tiny Tim, this is a micro tomato, and last year I grew orange hat tomatoes on the top layer of my green stalks. I alternated them with petunias, and first time I grew orange hat was in my arrow garden indoors, and I didn't like it at all. I didn't think it was very good, but I figured I'd see if growing it outside I had a better result, and I did. I thought they were tasty little tomatoes. This is a dwarf determinate. Considered a dwarf variety, this plant grows from 10 to 12 inches tall and 14 inches across. Miniature fruits form in clusters and reach 3/4 inch in diameter apiece. One of the earliest maturing dwarf variety on the market, ideal for small space gardeners or container gardening. Why not? This is a new one of the new seeds that M.I. Gardner unveiled for 2025, Cherry Falls Cherry Tomato. And what's interesting is that this is a determinate cherry tomato, so were the Tiny Tims. Cherry Falls tomato is a delightful cascading variety perfect for containers, hanging baskets, and small garden spaces. Produces an abundance of sweet, juicy cherry tomatoes that ripen to a vibrant red. The vines, which reach about 18 to 24 inches in length, gracefully drape over the edges of containers, creating an attractive and productive display. Ideal for fresh eating, salads, and snacking, these tomatoes offer a burst of flavor in every bite. I thought that sounded good, and I like the idea of having some tomatoes that are a little bit more controllable. Let's see, I guess I could have done that a long time ago, huh? Baby Roma tomato. Interesting, right? I got this Roma, and that's a determinate, but this is an indeterminate. Think Roma tomato, but fun size. This tiny tomato packs all the punch and meatiness of your classic Roma tomato, just like a regular sized Roma. They're great for canning, paste, and sauces. Like, if I'm growing Roma, why not also grow baby Roma? Those seeds are from 2023. Lucky Tiger tomato. Don't those look cool? Indeterminate, this bicolored tomato with green and yellow hues is a great little tomato for its bright and super sweet flavor. Its shape is a bit more elongated than the more petite-sized tomatoes, making it so unique. Enjoyed in jams, jellies, salsas, and more. I thought that sounded great. Super sweet, and it's green and yellow. Like, come on. Let's do it. Guys, I've yet to be successful with Brad's Atomic Grape, and I don't think I'm going to try this year because I have too many others to choose from. Black from Tula. I was just watching a video by Netta's Nest, and she's growing this as well. So how cool. Black from Tula. Indeterminate. This tomato is a deep burgundy green in color with a flattened globe shape, grown for slicing with its low acidity and sweetness. Yields tomatoes that can weigh up to 1 pound each, ideal for juicing or canning. In hotter climates, this variety can have a slightly smoky flavor. Steak for best airflow. Thought that sounded great. Then, blueberries tomato. Indeterminate. This blueberries tomato is a unique heirloom variety known for its striking appearance and delightful flavor. These cherry tomatoes feature a deep indigo purple hue that transitions to a rich red as they ripen, creating a stunning visual contrast. The fruits are small, typically around 1 inch in diameter, and grow in clusters. This variety is vigorous and produces abundant harvest throughout the season. The taste is sweet and slightly tangy, making them perfect for fresh eating, salads, and garnishes. I just think that sounds like the idea of them. So hopefully they're good. 2 more is I have saved seeds for the black strawberry, I believe, cherry tomato. And those I bought some from a local gardener with a little farm stand, and I saved seeds from the black strawberry tomato, and they were okay, but I'm a gardener and seed addict, and so I couldn't help myself but to save the seeds and try to grow them myself. Also is the Paul Robeson tomato. I didn't have, again, I had trouble with tomatoes. I had great harvest with tomatoes. At the same time, I had great troubles with tomatoes last year. Growing with Hudson, please go check her out. She's an awesome gardener and person, and generously and kindly sent me Paul Robeson seeds to enter into GT Jr.'s growing collaboration. GT Jr. grows in Alaska. Check him out as well. He lives in Alaska and is growing all the things. He is not letting the cold stop him from trying whatever he wants. And so he was doing this challenge of let's all grow Paul Robeson tomatoes together. And I was like, hey, you know what? I was kind of late, but I'm like, I'm going to find some seeds. And Growing with Hudson sent me hers. And I did actually save seeds from... See, now that has me confused. Anyways, because I'm like, I remember saving a lot of tomato seeds. Why do I feel like I'm lacking? Anyways, so I'm also going to grow the Paul Robeson. And last, again, to give it more, I got to try, I think, one or two. And they were good. They were good. They didn't knock my socks off, but it was a good tomato. It has a nice umami flavor. I really like that umami flavor, that more sort of savory flavor. At the same time, I love a super sweet tomato. I just like a delicious tomato, period. I like all the flavors of tomatoes, except when they're bad flavors. And I hope, yeah, I thought I went through all my, I thought I had all my seeds set aside for this video, that all the tomato seeds that I was going to grow. And now I'm like, wait a minute. Now that I think about it, there's another one that I got from Head Tomatoes, which is the Rebel Starfighter Prime. I saw that first online on Instagram from a UK gardener. Dude grows tomatoes. Sorry, I don't know his name off the top of my head, but man, he's got so many tomatoes. And the Rebel Starfighter Prime just looked like a really pretty tomato. And that's actually how I found Head to My Toes, because she had the Rebel Starfighter Prime. I was not able to taste those last year because, again, issues. But I'm going to grow them again this year. And when I stop this video, I'm going to find, because why aren't they in my pile? Now, last but not least, champagne bubbles. G Mama Grows sent me those with my prize, 4th place prize. I've not put the video up yet. This video will probably go up before that one, because I have to splice a bunch of videos together, because you'll see. But she sent me an amazing, amazing prize that was, I'm not complaining, but it was like, wow, 4th place. I felt like I had 1st place. But champagne bubbles, I wanted to grow champagne bubbles, I think in 2023, and I was not able to get seeds. And the fact that she sent me, either I tried to buy them in 2023 for the 24 season, whatever the case, I wanted to grow these before they were sold out. And I just so happened to get these from her. When I opened up the package, I was like, oh man, yes. I was so excited. Actually, she put them in these sweet, I'll show you, even though I show you in that video. She put it in this awesome. Go check out G Mama Grows Hard in the Garden. She is another great person, great gardener, small space gardener, doing all kinds of things. So check out Growing with Hudson, GT Jr. Grows at Alaska, and G Mama Grows Hard in the Garden. Yeah, man, she sent me these champagne bubbles. I was so excited. She didn't know that I wanted to grow champagne bubbles. These are just the seeds that she sent. And I'm, definitely going to grow them as well. So I think that's it for my Seed Table Talks episode 8, tomatoes. Yeah, this is a lot. And I'm probably going to have to narrow. I really don't want to. I don't want to narrow it down and be like, not you, but yes, you. But then how am I going to grow 40 different plus maybe a little more pepper plants in addition to all of these tomatoes? And then, what else do I have growing up there? Zinnia, carnation, coneflower, 3 different types of onions, 2 different types of bachelor button, dianthus, broccoli rabe, Long Island Brussels sprouts, cilantro, cabbage, pansies, Johnny jump ups, ashwagandha, multiple basils, multiple cilantro. So stay tuned because I still have to do a seed table talks about brassicas, not including the greens because we already did the greens in a different episode, which you can find all my episodes for the seed table talks on my playlist, Seed Table Talks 2025. And you can find all the episodes there. In episode 1, I shared with you my seed haul that I got for the 2024 holidays. It was a flower seed haul and from Baker Creek. And then episode 2, I think, was legumes, peas, and beans. Episode 3 was let's see. Episode 1, flower seed haul. Side quest episode was the books that I got. Episode 2 was actually Cucurbitaceae, Cucurbits part 1, which would have been squash and pumpkins. And I should have put cucumbers in there, but I put cucumbers in with the melons. No, I put cucumbers in with part 1 with the squash and stuff, when cucumbers should be with the melons. Episode 3 is Cucurbits part 2 with melons. Episode 4 is legumes, peas, and beans. Episode 5 is greens. 6 is my special episode where I share with you the seeds that I've saved for fruits and vegetables, so not including flowers. And that's also when I introduced my seed seed show and tell 2025. So it's hashtag seed show N, the letter N, tell 2025. And I want you to use that hashtag, share with me seeds that you've saved. You know, G Mama shared. And show me the seeds that you've saved. I've been bouncing around. I don't know if I'm trying to do too much by saying, you know what, also use that and share with me when you're dropping seeds. So share the seeds so this hashtag, this collaboration is all year long in 2025. So show me seeds that you've saved. The seeds that you've saved, not just in 2025, but seeds that you have saved, period. And then later in the season, as you save seeds, drop that hashtag, seed show and tell 2025. And as you're dropping seeds, don't show me the plants. I don't want to see the plants. I want to tell me about the seeds that you're dropping. Okay. So seed show and tell, and be sure to tag me at the symbol, theElpyDimension. Okay. And then, episode 7 was peppers. And then this is episode 8, tomatoes. And we have some miscellaneous. Miscellaneous is going to be like okra, celery. Okra is a nightshade, but I think I'm going to group those guys together a lot of these have a lot of varieties, but herbs, also flowers, and brassicas. And we did greens, included brassica greens like kale and arugula and mustard greens. However, the brassica seed table talk is going to be more like the vegetables like broccoli, cabbage, kohlrabi, that type of thing. All right. I hope you've enjoyed this very long seed table talk, episode 8. Let me know in the comments if you've grown any of these, if you want to, if you are growing any, if you got any suggestions, advice, or tips from when you grew them. If you want to tell me that they're terrible, do that too. Because doesn't hurt me. It'd be interesting to hear, like, oh, okay, heads up. Might be terrible. Like, I'm letting you know. Dark orange muscat tomato, my first round with it was terrible. It was terrible. But I'm going to give it another go, and let's see what happens. So stay tuned if you enjoyed this video. I'd appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up button, or if you didn't enjoy it, hit the thumbs down button. And if you'd like to follow along with what I'm doing, then maybe consider subscribing to my channel. I would so very much appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time and your interest. Stay tuned for more goodness, for my video, my shout out video, and unboxing from my prize from the Planter HGC challenge last year. And soon we have our update, our first update for this year's challenge. All right. Thank you so much for your time and your interest. I really appreciate you. Be safe, be well. Bye for now.